talk more about stress is optional,
Mm,
because this is um, this is probably one of the biggest bones of contention
mhm,
that um, every leader that I work with, or every founder that I mentor or advise,
mm.
um, struggles with the most, because they feel like this is not in their control.
Yep,
They are being impacted by things from outside, and they are not able to respond to it. So say a little bit more about that,
yeah.
because then I want you to link that back to the whole process that we just talked about.
Mhm, mhm.
Because if you can understand that this is something that is in fact, maybe
Mhm.
the stimulus is not in your control, but
Mm.
the way you respond to it is in your control.
Yes.
That's where everything changes, right?
Yes, exactly. And I'll break this down in two parts. Important clarifiers that the stress response initially probably isn't optional, right? You've learned it, it's ingrained, but then you can change it, right? So over
Yes.
time, that changes, right? Very true. And I want to actually allude to something that you shared with me in one of our conversations. I remember you saying, Omar, that you basically with I'll paraphrase, with time and experience, certain things don't phase you as much, right? And you've obviously had an illustrious career and so much under your belt. You've seen and done and been through a lot, and you've earned the wisdom, right? And so, you know, oftentimes when people have earned wisdom through their experience, the day-to-day doesn't stress them out as much, right? They don't get as attached. They don't take it all so seriously. They've been through a few reps and they have seen that typically things work out, or even if they don't, I'm still okay, right? And they've learned that. And so it's like, if that can be true for someone who has crossed that threshold to wisdom, and they can relax more when they're meeting, things that would have really sent them for a loop 10 years previously, then why can't it be true for you right now? Right? Because if you can imagine it being true, that you have that calm, you have that wisdom, you know that you're okay. Or if you've even experienced that in any other area of your life, maybe outside of work, right? Maybe there's some area in your life where you have true confidence and you just trust more easily and more readily than anywhere else. Then you have that resource state and you know what it feels like. But even if that hasn't been true for you, other people have experienced that, right? Other people have experienced day-to-day stress not actually being so meaningful in the end, not actually being so worth getting riled up about, because life experience teaches you. And so we can borrow from their knowing and their wisdom that this is possible and that this is true. And, almost future forecast into yourself when you're 75, right? And you're looking back with all that perspective and you're still kicking, right? You made it. You're in the home, you ideally would be in, you have your family and hopefully all those elements of well-being. And it's like, you can imagine what it would be like to look back from that perspective and to know that like, you don't remember half these conversations that you're having. And so, to tie that back into the meta pattern, it's like anytime you're feeling dysregulated, you're feeling your heart rocket, or you're feeling like you need to like get up and walk away from your screen, or whatever it is that stress looks and feels like for you, that right there is an opportunity to stop having that stress, right? It's
Mm.
presenting the moment, and you then have that opportunity to forecast into the future where you know that this is water under the bridge and it didn't change your trajectory. And like, even a helpful exercise actually, Omar, might be to go and like look through your email inbox from a year ago and like refresh yourself of like what you were dealing with in the weeds with a year ago that you can't even remember now today.